Talking about Minecraft today. If you check the title, talk about Creed 3 today on the vlog. The video is long overdue because I went to see it, how many weeks ago? I went to see it a couple of weeks ago. And I intended on putting this in a previous vlog, but the other vlog that I'd done actually contained a lot more car stuff. And it had been kind of pointless to put a movie review at the end of that. So we're getting into it in this video, and we just start at the top. What did you think about the movie?
It's a 10 out of 10 movie.
10 out of 10 movie?
Yeah, it's 10 out of 10.
That's pretty much what I give it, a 10 out of 10 movie. I would go see it again. I would definitely go see it a second time, probably a third time. You did?
Yeah, saw it with my friends.
See? She went and seen it a second time. Didn't even tell me she saw it a second time. That's how good of a movie it is. One of the things about the movie, the daughter in the movie, she does the son, she's deaf. She's actually deaf in real life. Watching some of the behind the scenes things, I saw how they, interacted and communicated, and how she drilled some boxing techniques with one of the ladies that trains in the movie. One of the bonuses I thought in the movie was the lady I follow. I can't remember her real name. Her Instagram handle is Mitt Queen, the Mitt Queen on Instagram, and I follow her on there, and I know she was in the movie. And after the movie was released, she released a lot of their behind the scenes footage, some of the training she done with Michael B. Jordan, and some that she done with the girl, the daughter in the movie. Just all out interesting movie, dynamics between the characters. What do you think about the characters?
They're alright. I feel like what was his name? I'm bad at names. But the
villain?
Antagonist? Yeah. I feel like he was more, slept on. You know what I mean? How, in the second movie, how they had, their long little sequence and, 2 fights?
Yeah.
They had 2 fights in the movie, but, he wasn't, it was, a quick one, and then it was, let's build up to this. Mm-hmm. And, that one moment whenever they were fighting and they went into that
the quiet moment?
Yeah, that was based off of Naruto, the anime.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He had an interview and it was on TikTok and he was talking about it.
Who was it? Michael?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He was talking about how when anime characters fight, it's loud and they be fighting to the death, to the throat and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. They're trying to go for the head and trying to go for the kill, and then in their mind it's quiet.
Yeah. And that's one of the highlights in the movies. And when I was in the gym with some of my friends, we were talking about the movie, and I tried not to give them spoilers, but here gonna get spoilers. But the minute they switch from that fight into the scene, if you've seen the movie, you know what we're talking about. If you hadn't seen the movie, it's in the middle of one of their matches. They split to a scene. The stadium's empty, and it's just totally quiet. And as soon as that came on the screen, I knew exactly what they were talking about, because I've fought before. I've kickboxed, and I've done jiu-jitsu matches, and I've coached, ringside and stuff. And when you get out there, it is quiet. It's one of the most quiet and surreal moments when you first walk out there and when you start your match. And it's something about the human mind where it's just focused on the battle at hand, and everything else is blocked out. The only thing I can hear in those moments is really my coach, if they're saying anything else, or else it's super quiet. And when I saw that in the movie, I was just super impressed at how they captured that moment and done it on screen. And that's one of the things that made the movie really enjoyable for me, is to be able to identify with some things like that. That's one reason we give it 10 out of 10. But on the villain in the movie, when they introduced him into the movie, I had a hunch. I didn't watch a lot of trailers, but I had a hunch, that they're going to have to fight at the end of the movie, because they got into the fights kind of quick. And if the movie had ended after that first fight, I'd have been really disappointed, because they could have went another direction with it. But their backstory in the movie is really, I like the way they set it up, because they tell the backstory and they reveal pieces of the backstory throughout the movie. They just don't show the whole flashback scene and you get the whole story. So it really captures your attention and it holds your attention throughout the movie because you wonder what the full story is. I hope I explained that right. But the whole time they were showing the backstory, I was trying to fill in the gaps and put all the pieces together. And finally they done that at the end of the movie. But if they had revealed the whole backstory right away, it would have killed the finale and it would have killed the whole pace of the movie. You have to see it to appreciate it.
I feel like the backstory was like self-giving, you know what I mean?
What do you mean by self-giving?
Like it was like, I wouldn't say it was common sense, but I would say it was kind of played out. Like, cause a lot of stuff now is more played out and it's more easier to tell what's gonna happen. So for me, it wasn't like, it was more like visual like build up, not like the plot build up. But
oh really?
A lot of like the movie, I like how he directed the movie, but I also don't like that he like. It felt like the time span that it had, he like forced out the plot. So like.
Kind of like he drug it out a little bit too far, or.
No, like he had everything set. Like the plot was set down. It was all good. Like it was a good plot, but like he like bunched it all together and like forced it out. Like he didn't have like the second movie. The second movie felt a little bit longer, but like I don't think it was that long. Was it?
I can't remember.
I don't know.
I don't think. I think they're about the same length as Runtime.
Yeah, but that one seemed like it got more thought put into it, and that it was like more like stretched out and made sense. But like that one seemed more emotional, but this one seemed a bit more action packed. You know.
Mm-hmm. And I noticed that at the beginning of the movie because they opened up. There's a little bit of boxing going on at the beginning of the movie. But if you like when you watch the Rocky movies, you see a lot of the training and you see a lot of the fighting, and it seemed like it's the majority of the movie. There was a time span at the beginning of the movie to where it didn't seem like you were going to get as much boxing as you wanted. But when you got to the action parts of the boxing, it was quality. It wasn't. You could say the action scenes are more realistic than the early Rockies. And if you're true into the art of boxing, I think you appreciate it. And if you're true into the art of boxing and you go back and watch the Rocky movies, you look at a lot of it and you think, probably not. Probably not. It would be neat if that happened. But in these matches, when they do tangle up, I think you're going to appreciate the art that they took their time to set up these types of fight scenarios and how they're slipping punches, how they're delivering punches, the emotions that they feel. I think it makes a difference if you've studied boxing and if you haven't studied boxing, because if you're just a casual fan, some of it I don't think you would actually grasp when you watch it. But if you've done the boxing and you've done some of the techniques that they do, I think you love to see that stuff on the screen. Because watching the behind the scenes, they actually fight and they actually hit each other. And that is at a sparring pace. They're not trying to kill each other, but they're actually boxing in the ring. That's just from my point of view. Like I said, that you do get the casual fan, and you may have some different thoughts. I think that maybe is the separation, like what you get on the action scenes.
Yeah, I think like the best parts for me was whenever they had like their intros, like in the beginning of the fights and whatnot. Cause
the walkout.
Yeah, I don't know what that dude's name is.
I can't remember.
But the one fight,
I keep thinking Killmonger. I don't know why.
Because you're thinking it's Wakanda. That one dude, like the first fight, it wasn't the antagonist, but it was the other dude. But he had a good walkout, and he also had a good walkout too. I like how they like incorporated
the older characters from previous movies.
No, they incorporated his background, like where he came from, and his the actor that played the teenage version of the antagonist.
Yeah,
he played in All American, and he comes from Crenshaw, and he was playing his background was from Crenshaw.
Oh,
so I like that tie.
So they kind of tied in from one to the other, a little bit of consistencies in the characters.
Yeah.
Good character development. But if you hadn't seen the movie, you got to go out and you got to watch the movie. If you're not into the boxing or the martial arts, you still need to see the movie. Go watch the other two, set it up. If you're a Rocky fan, I think it's a must watch because it has to do with the Creed side of the family. Where they go from here, I mean, I don't know. Who knows? May have some ideas later. You may have some ideas after you watch it. But looking at the movie and judging it on the things that we were presented is what I tried to do, and not judge the movie based on what I thought it should be. You gotta take it as it comes. But for some of you, if you didn't exactly enjoy the movie, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be more. It seems to be, I don't know, maybe the norm that the Creed movies aren't packed full of boxing like the previous Rocky movies. Maybe we'll get a street fight in Creed 4 if they come along, you know, like Rocky done in his movies. Maybe have some street boxing. I don't know. Who knows? What do you think? Where do you think they go?
I don't know. Somebody probably dies.
We can bet on that. All right. But that's all we got for you. Appreciate you tuning in and listening to us yak about Creed 3. And I'll catch you in the next one.